Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. I've had a bit of an issue uploading the past couple of videos, West Ham away and Southampton at home. Didn't really get to do a review about them. And of course I missed the Shrewsbury game, the first original game, because I had a game 7-a-side on the Sunday. So I do want to kind of just talk a little bit in brief about the Shrewsbury game last night. The fourth round game where the kids knocked out Shrewsbury by 1-0. I'll talk about that a little bit, and then I'll talk about a couple of other things surrounding it. I mean, to be honest, I know the FA Cup stuff's been done to death, but I kind of want to weigh in on it because I'm sick of people around Liverpool, in and around Liverpool, not the fans or anything like that. And when I say around Liverpool, I don't mean in Liverpool, I mean surrounding, so like opposition fans and stuff like that. It's mostly opposition fans, to be fair, and pundits on the TV who aren't intrinsically linked with Liverpool. They seem to want to discredit Liverpool at any opportunity. They want to seem to pass blame to Liverpool for any little thing whatsoever. But the overriding thing about last night was that you had thousands, hundreds of thousands of people having to look for dodgy streams, dodgy streams online last night, because the FA, the people who have been criticising Liverpool for trying to devalue the FA Cup, they decided that they weren't going to televise this game. Therefore, Shrewsbury were going to get less money, less of a cut of the TV money that they rightfully get. You know, if they get themselves into the next round of the cup and stuff like that. And I just think that has been completely underestimated. No one has even said anything about that, and it's a shock. It really is, because you know everyone's going to keep on talking about how Liverpool are doing this wrong and that wrong, and people are going to keep disrespecting Klopp and saying that he's disrespecting the cup. And that's one thing Klopp hasn't done. You know, in previous years, of course, he's probably looked at the FA Cup game as a way of resting the first team players. But what manager doesn't? You know, a lot of Premier League teams anyway rest players in the FA Cup, and they give other players a chance, because how can you not? You know, you go through the worst period in the Premier League is December, and then the FA Cup comes in January, the start of January, and what are you supposed to do? Like, what are you meant to do? It's just baffling, it really is. You know, you've got so many games to play, and then you've just got an extra one as well. So, you know, the first team deserve the rest. They've played Champions League, they've played Premier League, they've played Club World Cup, and rightfully so. Again, another decision that I back Klopp for. And I don't back him just because he's a Liverpool manager. I back him because no one really cares about the Carabao Cup anyway, and that's not a good thing, right? That's not a good thing, but how can you blame people for not caring about the Carabao Cup when a couple of years ago it was called the Capital One Cup, a couple of years before that it was called the League Cup, it's called the EFL Cup, it's called the Worthington Cup, the Milk Cup, it's called all sorts of things. There's no one specific sponsor on it. You know, it's called so many things. No, it's devalued by that means as well. You know, it doesn't have one specific name. It hasn't. It's a historic trophy, of course, and it's the one that we've won the most. You know, we've won that cup the most. But you know, it's devalued, and then the FA Cup is becoming like that too. You know, Paul from Redmen was on, I think, I don't know if it was NBC or something like that, but a news program, and they were asking him. You know, the lady asked him, quite smartly, was just trying to find bits, trying to trip Paul up and stuff like that. And Paul was fantastic and just saying, look, you know, people are trying to blame Klopp, but if the FA really give a shit about its competition and about the players who play in it, they wouldn't schedule a game during a winter break. And what they did last night was, in my opinion, the most petty thing that they could do. And considering it's the governing body of English football, the FA, and it's meant to look after its players, its teams, it's everything to do with football in this country, they've really let people down there, and no one's going to talk about it because they've decided not to televise a game where Shrewsbury have fought hard. Fair enough to them. You know, they shouldn't have had the goal that they got in the first leg. Fair enough, but they fought themselves to get a replay at Anfield. But Klopp's decided, no, I need to rest players, so I'm going to play a different team. The FA have had a go at him. The FA have come at him like he's the worst man in the world, and then have gone on to not televise the game anyway. So why'd you care? If this game was so important, if this game was so big, then why have you decided, right, we're just not going to show it anyway? It's like they've gone, right, what's Klopp done? Okay, now we're going to be petty now. What can we do to one-up him? And that's what they've done there. They've just one-upped him and just shown themselves as bigger dickheads than him. And in my opinion, Klopp didn't show himself as a dickhead in the first place. So, that's that bit out of the way. 5 minutes of that, brilliant. Secondly, and the most important thing, to be fair, although I didn't say it first, is how well the kids played last night. And I keep calling them kids, and it's so disrespectful, and I do apologise. But I'm 22 years of age. Let's put this into a bit of perspective. I'm 22 years of age, and I'd have been the oldest player on the pitch there last night, sorry. Pedro Chiravella was the oldest player on the pitch. And might I just say, he's really impressed me these past 2 games that he's played. He played against Everton, played against Shrewsbury in the first round, you know what I mean. And then he's played against Shrewsbury in the replay. Genuinely, honestly, I could see him being a backup player at Liverpool Football Club in a couple of years' time. Like, I really could. And for some reason, even though he hasn't had a lot of game time, you know, he seems like he's frustrated at not getting game time. He's still happy to be here and to put in a shift. And you need players like that sometimes. And he's shown himself to be a really calm, a really assured player in the middle of the park. And that's something that's so typical of Jurgen Klopp teams, because no matter what the history, players want to run through brick walls for him, and all these players last night wanted to. And Neil Critchley was the manager, and rightly so. He took the hot seat. He was at the dugout, helping his team that he manages every week. But these players played the way Klopp wants them to, and these players have shown that the way we play football, it doesn't just start and stop at the top. It comes right down, it filters right through. And, I wouldn't be surprised if our under-10s are playing like that. Pressing from the front and counter-pressing. And when they lose the ball, they're all fighting to get it back. And, when one goes, the other one stays, but kind of moves himself into a position to cut out passing lanes. And that's what Liverpool are so good at. It's not just that we go and press a man and put him under pressure. We cut the pass out. We know, for instance, as an example, I don't know, like Manchester City, we know that they like to cut through the middle to give it to David Silva, give it to De Bruyne, or like to go out wide to like Sterling or whatever. Our forwards are so important in cutting out that pass to De Bruyne, to Silva, to Sterling, to Aguero or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's different for different teams, but you know where the pass is going to go to helps you to then cut out that pass, and that's what our forwards do so well. And the kids have took that on. Again, I keep saying the kids. The youth team have took that on perfectly, and they were superb last night. They dominated the ball, dominated the chances. Shrewsbury got a goal, but it was ruled out rightly by VAR for being offside in the build-up. And then the Shrewsbury managers cry arse and saying like, talking about VAR about Liverpool and stuff like that, like everyone does. And again, people rightly so in the comments of the tweet, say Shrewsbury got a penalty for a foul that was outside the box in the first leg, and if VAR was missing in that game because it wasn't able to be put in place in a lower league ground. So they got a replay off the back of a bad decision, and then they're talking about VAR being all for Liverpool and stuff like that, when VAR would have eradicated that bad decision. No one's going to talk about that bad decision. Everyone's going to sit and talk about how VAR's crap, VAR's taking the passion away from the game, VAR's making everything black and white, and it shouldn't be football subjective. Yeah, well, in the last game against Shrewsbury, we should have gone through 2-1. I know we kind of fucked it up, we kind of bottled it a little bit, but we should have gone through by 2-1 in that cup game, and we were forced to have a replay. And all this was forced by the fact that VAR wasn't able to be used in a lower league ground, because if VAR was involved, that wouldn't have been a penalty, that would have been a free kick, and it probably would have ended 2-1 to Liverpool. So there you go. That's the reason why VAR needs to be in football, because otherwise people are going to lose out. And if that was the other way around, if Liverpool would have got a penalty and not a free kick, and would have gone on to draw the game, get a replay and win the game, or had just won the game outright in that game, people would be fuming, because little Shrewsbury would have been on the end of a wrong decision, while big bad Liverpool got away with it. So you really need to be consistent with these things. That's the one thing I want to say. If anyone ever decides to clip up this video, if anyone ever sees this video, make sure this is the bit that you clip up to rival fans. you have to be consistent. If you're going to blame Liverpool for having a bad decision, you've got to blame everybody else for having bad decisions. And the one thing I do want to say as well is Sky Sports brought that thing out of who's benefited the most from bad decisions, like in terms of points from goals ruled out or given and penalties. And Liverpool are near the bottom. I think with Man City on minus. They've lost 2 points due to bad decisions. They haven't gained any points from bad decisions because, do you know why we haven't gained any points from bad decisions? Is because, why we haven't lost any more than 2 is because we're so fucking good. We are so good. VAR isn't against just everyone but Liverpool. VAR is against everybody anyway. VAR is the same for everybody. Doesn't matter. But Liverpool are so good that when VAR rules a goal out for us or gives us or gives a handball against us or whatever, or an armpit or something offside, we don't cry ass about it. We go and win the game. Because we're Liverpool, we've been so good, and the league's not shite as well. For anybody who's saying that, I know there's loads of people saying that, including True Geordie on the kickoff show and stuff like that. I'm not coming at anybody, but I just want to bring my thoughts across. Maybe I'll do another video about the league. This league's not becoming like La Liga. This league is not the same. The money in La Liga is skewed towards Real Madrid and Barcelona, no matter where they finish. The money in the Premier League is evenly shared out between everybody. Everybody gets a fair chance. And the league in the Premier League this year, and in the past number of years and forevermore, has always been competitive. This league is the most competitive league in the world. It's just that Liverpool are so good. Liverpool and Manchester City have been so good, but not... And I'm not just being biased, but Man City have done it in a Barcelona, Real Madrid type way, yeah? Liverpool's done it the right way, though. You can't have a go at Liverpool. If people aren't having a go at Manchester City, then you can't sit there and have a go at Liverpool, and you can't put Liverpool and Manchester City in the same bracket of success, because Liverpool have done it the right way by making profits, selling to buy, not just going, right, we've got a problem with our fullbacks, let's go and spend fucking 100 plus million pound because we've got the money to. I'm very sorry. Yeah, we can't just go and buy whoever and whatever we want. We haven't got a mega rich owner who's pumping illegal oil money into the club. We do things the right way, and that's why we are the best club in the world, and that's why we are possibly going to do the treble this year. So they're my thoughts anyway. I might do another separate video about the league and stuff like that. I do want to start doing other videos that are separate to reviews. Give my thoughts on things, because I'm sick of people's opinions taking over the internet, and people then go, oh yeah, he's right, Liverpool are getting all the bad decisions, and fuck off, shut up. I need to start making my feelings known, because people need to realise that things aren't as black and white as other people say. And I'm sick of hearing other people's opinions take priority over others because they think they know it, because they're a pundit and they think that they're an expert in football. So they're my thoughts. I've been on the fence. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in about a week for the next game.